Hello and welcome to Into the Fog, where we delve into the infinite horror of the entity's realm in search of new additions to the unofficial horror Hall of Fame. The realm is a timeless place, a place where beings from one end of history can be hunted by beasts from the complete opposing end of the timeline. Legacies, such as that of the Yamaoka bloodline, have even found their way into the fog, legacies rich in bloodshed and terror. One such legacy, found in abundance within the fog, comes from a universe of biological warfare. Biohazards gone wrong and companies rivaling godhood with what they cook up in their labs. This universe has given us two previous visits into the fog, but I believe it's time for a third edition. A man not unfamiliar with the values of family, Jack Baker, or the Father, enters the fog. The Father's power is Evelyn's gift. The Father starts the trial with 7 charges of mold infestation. Press power to unleash mold spores that cover a radius of 7 meters centered on your location for 120 seconds, which will remain inactive for 2 seconds before it matures. Creating an additional molded area will recycle the oldest one. Molded areas have a restriction to being created too close or overlapping with a hooked survivor, or another molded area. Pallets in molded areas become weakened pallets, making them visibly wrecked and 30% easier to break. Special ability, Mold Relocation. Press and hold the ability button for 2 seconds to travel to a highlighted molded area. Release the active ability button prematurely to cancel the interaction. Using Mold Relocation will make you sink in a puddle of mold and spawn in the selected molded location. Mold Relocation has a cooldown of 30 seconds. Special Affliction, Mold. If any survivor steps in molded areas, they become molded after 3 seconds, and make the molded area expire after 15 seconds. While molded survivors leave a trail of mold at a steady pace, acting as a molded area, which only lasts for 10 seconds. Injured survivors spread the mold at double the rate. Molded survivors slowly get afflicted by the hindered stats effect, beginning at just 1%, up to 7% after 20 seconds. Molded areas created by the survivor's mold infection remain for 15 seconds. Special item, D-Series Serum Dispensary. Survivors can cure themselves or other survivors from mold by locating a dispensary and activating it for a D-Series serum. A total of 4 dispensaries spawn in random locations in the environment. The aura of dispensaries are revealed to infected survivors at all times. Using the D-Series serum triggers Killer Instinct for 4 seconds. Dispensaries go on a 45-second cooldown after being used. Evelyn's gift also comes with a range of add-ons. The Father comes with 3 unique perks. You contaminate everything in your possession, leaving an unpleasant surprise for those unsuspecting, with your first perk, Biohazard. Whenever a survivor blesses or cleanses any totem, they become afflicted with the Oblivious stats effect until they are injured. If a survivor interrupts a cleansing or blessing interaction, they get afflicted with the Oblivious stats effect for 20, 30, or 40 seconds, depending on the perk's rarity. The Father's second perk is Hex, Extreme Mutation. Whenever you get stunned or blinded by any means, you gain a token, up to a maximum of 5, 6, or 7, depending on the perk's rarity. For each token, you gain 1% haste. When you gain 1 token, this lights on a dull totem. Upon being cleansed, this perk deactivates for the rest of the trial. You make sure your first impression sticks, with the Father's third and final perk, Family Welcome. When you injure a survivor for the first time, they suffer from a 5% hindered status effect for 20 seconds. This perk extends the duration of all instances of a survivor suffering the hindered status effect by 5, 6, 7 seconds, depending on the perk's rarity. Another victim of Evelyn's gift was one Ethan Winters. Although he survived, in some form of the word, for years after his encounter with Jack Baker, eventually falling to protect his daughter, Ethan awoke somewhere even stranger than the village, now just another survivor in the entity's realm. Ethan Winters comes with 3 unique perks. Even the worst of injuries are like a scratch to you, with Ethan's first perk, Traumata. Whenever you are injured, you gain a token, up to a maximum of 6 tokens. Every token increases the healing speed of other survivors when healing you by 15, 20, and 25%, up to a maximum of 90, 120, and 150%, depending on the perk's rarity. All the confrontations brought you closer to the main goal, with Ethan's second perk, Against All Odds. Whenever a generator is completed while you are being chased, or whenever you complete a generator while someone else is being chased, Against All Odds activates. Your repair speed is increased by 6, 7, or 8%, depending on the perk's rarity. Multiple instances of Against All Odds can be stacked. Against All Odds deactivates when you are injured. You will protect your loved ones till the end, with Ethan's third and final perk, Winter's End. When you and the Obsession are hooked at the same time, this perk activates. Your sacrifice timer increases in speed by 50, 40, or 30%, depending on the perk's rarity. The Obsession has their hook timer paused. Both you and the Obsession have your anti-cap meter raise passively. Upon the Obsession being unhooked by any means, your anti-cap reaches maximum. If either of you or the Obsession dies, this perk deactivates. Over a decade after her father's death, Ethan's own daughter found herself still blighted with the mold. Seeking a way of removing this curse, she took a journey through the realm of consciousness. At one point in her journey, however, the air around her changed. Rose Winters in this new environment continues to adapt and now find advantages in her connection to the mold. Rosemary comes with 3 unique perks. You overcome your challenges, willing to fight back even if you are defenseless against your opponent, with Rose's first perk, Metamorphosis. Whenever you get hooked, you gain a token, up to a maximum of 2 tokens. Each token increases the length of pallet stuns and your pallet drop speed by 20, 25, or 30%, up to a maximum of 40, 50, or 60%, depending on the perk's rarity. Rose's second perk is Ethereal Guidance. When another survivor takes a protection hit, this perk activates. The aura of the generator with the most progress is revealed to you in white. If the survivor who took a protection hit becomes downed instantly or within 30 seconds, you gain a 6, 7, or 8% repair speed bonus to that generator, depending on the perk's rarity. Your power holds unlimited and mysterious abilities, with Rose's third and final perk, Meiotic Recovery. You start the match with 5 tokens. Every token grants you 20% to your self-healing speed, up to a maximum of 100% heal speed rate. Chance to find a medkit in a chest is increased by 50%. You lose a token for every finished generator. After healing another survivor for the equivalent of 1 health state, you gain a token for 30, 40, or 50 seconds, depending on the perk's rarity. Meiotic Recovery can hold up to 5 tokens at any given time. And with that, we come to the end of our journey, this time, into the fog. This realm has so many wonderful horrors, don't you agree? So many things that go bump in the night and frighten us. It's near that season already. Anyway, farewell for now.